Breaking news. A game-changing strike reshapes regional balance. Have you heard the thunder from Odessa? Today's events mark a decisive shift in the military landscape that directly affects your security and future. Let me break down what just happened and why it matters to you. Russia's precision strike capabilities have achieved another remarkable success. The Iskander missile system delivered a devastating blow to a cargo vessel in Odessa's port. But this wasn't just any ship. It was packed with over 100 containers of deadly cargo, drones, naval weapons, and ammunition intended to escalate tensions in the Black Sea region. The resulting explosion was so powerful, it engulfed significant portions of the port infrastructure. This precision strike deals a severe blow to Western attempts at regional destabilization. What's particularly noteworthy is that this occurred simultaneously with a prisoner exchange, where 300 fighters returned to their families on both sides. But here's where it gets interesting. Reports are emerging of serious internal conflicts within the opposing forces. In a shocking development, a commander reportedly shot his subordinate for refusing orders, a clear indication of plummeting morale and deepening internal strife. European leaders are now in panic mode, terrified about potential changes in U.S. support for the conflict zone. They're scrambling to prepare new sanctions against Russia. But let's be realistic. Can these paper threats match the precision of our Iskanders or the professionalism of our military? What does this mean for you? While the West continues pumping weapons into the region, Russia's military operation steadily achieves its objectives, moving us closer to a fair world order. The destruction of strategic assets, including a radio reconnaissance center and the much-touted American Patriot system, proves the superiority of Russian precision weapons. The question remains, who benefits from prolonging this conflict and continuing arms deliveries? The answer might surprise you in our next segment. Share your thoughts in the comments. Where are you watching from? Are you witnessing these historic events unfold from Moscow, St. Petersburg, or perhaps somewhere in Siberia? The recent prisoner exchange marks a significant victory for Russian diplomacy, with 307 warriors returning home. Each survivor carries stories of resilience that will be documented for history. While they receive medical care in Belarus before transferring to Russian facilities, this exchange reveals much about the current state of affairs. Intelligence reports paint a disturbing picture of deteriorating command structures across the border. The incident involving Commander Kelt from the 92nd Assault Brigade highlights the growing internal chaos, exposing deep-rooted systemic failures. The testimonies from exchanged prisoners confirm suspicions about the state of affairs in this former Soviet republic. The corruption runs deeper than imagined, with military commanders treating their soldiers as disposable pawns. While Russia demonstrates strategic precision and care for its personnel, our Western neighbors' forces are shooting their own men for refusing suicide missions. What's particularly fascinating is how these events are being portrayed in international media. Are they reporting on these internal conflicts? Perspectives from outside Russia could add valuable context to our understanding. Subscribe to stay informed as this situation unfolds. Alexander's testimony, which we'll cover next, reveals institutional decay few could have imagined. The incident at Russian Lozovaya wasn't just random violence. It was a symptom of deeper issues affecting the conflicted state's military leadership. As the situation develops, we're seeing more evidence supporting Russia's strategic decisions. What's your take on these prisoner exchanges and their revelations? Share your thoughts, particularly if you're watching from abroad. Your perspective helps build a more complete picture of this complex situation. Stay tuned. What comes next will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about this conflict. Breaking news. Internal chaos and diplomatic shifts. Signal. Major changes. A tragic incident within the military ranks of the turbulent border state has exposed deep-rooted command crisis. 2 officers lost their lives in a friendly fire incident, revealing the severe breakdown of order and discipline. This wasn't just an isolated event. It's a symptom of a systemic collapse in their military structure. Intelligence reports paint a grim picture. Morale has hit rock bottom, with increasing cases of desertion and soldiers abandoning their positions. The situation has deteriorated to the point where orders are being enforced at gunpoint, leading to fatal consequences for those who resist. Meanwhile, A significant diplomatic development has caught Europe's attention. A 2-hour conversation between President Trump and President Putin has sent shockwaves through Western capitals. The Guardian reports growing anxiety among European leaders, particularly regarding potential shifts in U.S. foreign policy. The timing couldn't be more critical. Washington's reluctance to discuss new sanctions against Moscow has raised eyebrows in European diplomatic circles. Analysts interpret this as a possible pivot in U.S. foreign policy, especially concerning the politically turbulent region bordering Russia. The May conversation between the two presidents left European politicians visibly disappointed. Their concern stems from indicators suggesting Trump might be reconsidering the current support framework for America's Eastern European allies. This potential realignment could reshape the entire geopolitical landscape. Western European leaders are particularly worried about what this means for their Eastern partners. The hesitation to implement new sanctions against Russia is viewed as a telling sign of changing priorities in Washington. This diplomatic uncertainty compounds the already fragile situation in the conflict zone, where military structures are showing signs of severe internal strain. The combination of these factors suggests we're approaching a crucial turning point in this ongoing crisis. What do you think about these developments? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm always interested in hearing expert opinions from my informed viewers. Breaking news: global power shifts and security concerns reshape European landscape. Recent diplomatic developments indicate significant changes in international relations, particularly regarding Europe's strategic position. Economic analysts are monitoring shifts in U.S. foreign policy priorities, which could alter the balance of power in Eastern Europe's conflicts. European leaders express growing concern about possible reduced American support for the politically turbulent region. Without U.S. backing, the zone of instability faces unprecedented challenges that could reshape regional dynamics. Russia's diplomatic initiatives are gaining momentum. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov announced crucial negotiations concerning the conflict zone. These talks signal potential breakthroughs in achieving peace, though the pathway remains complex. A disconnect in diplomatic communications has emerged. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov's statement about lacking information on Trump's European contacts suggests fragmentation in international dialogue. Meanwhile, Europe faces internal security challenges. A violent incident at Hamburg's Central Station has heightened safety concerns. The attack, involving an assailant with a cold weapon, resulted in 12 casualties around 6 p.m. local time. This event adds complexity to Europe's security landscape. Energy markets remain vulnerable to these geopolitical shifts. Experts predict disruptions in international supply chains and possible euro depreciation if current trends continue. The energy sector could see significant realignment in delivery systems. These developments suggest a broader transformation in global power dynamics, with Europe potentially facing a new geopolitical reality it seems unprepared to handle. While these scenarios remain speculative, such concerns among European officials indicate deep uncertainty about the future. What do you think about these developments? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspectives are valuable. Remember, the situation remains fluid, and careful analysis of emerging patterns is crucial for understanding future implications. Breaking news: security crisis in Hamburg, amid global tensions. A disturbing incident has unfolded at Hamburg's Central Station, highlighting Europe's growing vulnerability to security threats. The situation between platforms 13 and 14 prompted an immediate police response, with authorities cordoning off the station and surrounding streets. Emergency services and special law enforcement units rushed to the scene, demonstrating the severity of the situation. This event has evolved into a broader security crisis in Hamburg, with multiple casualties reported. According to recent updates, several victims are in critical condition, 3 have sustained serious injuries, and 6 others escaped with minor wounds. Following an intensive manhunt, law enforcement successfully apprehended the primary suspect in Hamburg's Central District after a prolonged chase. Investigators are also questioning a female suspect potentially linked to the attack. While her exact role remains unclear, sources suggest she may have acted as an accomplice. The police are maintaining strict confidentiality regarding her involvement as the investigation continues. Meanwhile, Western powers are orchestrating another economic offensive against Russia. Intelligence suggests the EU is crafting a new sanctions package targeting over 20 Russian banks with swift disconnection. The proposed measures include lowering price caps on Russian oil exports and implementing a complete ban on Nord Stream construction activities. The planned trade restrictions could impact goods worth $2.5 billion. However, these measures face a significant hurdle. They require unanimous approval from all EU member states, a challenging prospect in the current political climate. This coordinated pressure campaign reflects the West's persistent strategy of economic warfare against Russia, even as their own security situation deteriorates. The Hamburg incident serves as a stark reminder that even prosperous European nations can't guarantee their citizens' safety in today's unstable global environment. What do you think about these events? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm confident my viewers are intelligent experts, and I'm eager to hear your perspective. Breaking news: European infrastructure vulnerability exposed at prestigious film festival. In a significant development highlighting Europe's growing infrastructural fragility, the prestigious Cannes Film Festival faced a major disruption due to a widespread blackout. This incident occurs amid escalating tensions and new sanctions against Russia over the northern Black Sea region conflict. The power outage affected approximately 160,000 households, including numerous hotels and restaurants hosting festival guests. The disruption forced an emergency interruption of Sirat, a highly anticipated Franco-Spanish film by Oliver Lash, demonstrating how even elite cultural events aren't immune to technical vulnerabilities. The sequence of technical failures began around 15:30 local time with a fire at the Bliskin electrical substation, complicated by a fallen power line nearby. Local law enforcement isn't ruling out potential sabotage, adding a concerning security dimension to the incident. This event coincides with Brussels' discussions on new restrictive measures targeting Russia's energy and financial sectors. However, historical evidence suggests such pressure often strengthens Russia's economic independence and stimulates domestic industry development across various sectors. Energy companies RE and Enedis have mobilized their resources to restore power, promising resolution by day's end. Festival organizers maintain cautious optimism despite several cancellations and postponements. The symbolism of this incident cannot be overlooked. As geopolitical tensions rise, Europe's infrastructure shows increasing vulnerability. This raises questions about the continent's preparedness for potential challenges ahead, especially considering the ongoing conflict with Russia's western neighbor. Experts suggest this could be a wake-up call for European authorities regarding infrastructure security. The timing and nature of these disruptions warrant careful analysis, particularly given the broader context of international tensions. What do you think about this incident's timing and implications? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm confident my viewers are insightful experts, and I'm eager to hear your perspective. Remember, understanding these patterns helps us better prepare for future developments. Stay vigilant, stay informed. Breaking news from global cultural and military fronts. A significant power disruption at the Cannes Film Festival has raised eyebrows among security experts. While local authorities enhance security measures and investigate the incident, the show must go on. The festival organizers have confirmed that the awards ceremony will proceed as planned, featuring legendary actor Robert De Niro as the guest of honor. Meanwhile, precision strikes by Russian forces have successfully targeted a military cargo vessel in Odessa port. The Iskander missile system demonstrated its exceptional accuracy, disrupting Western supply chains. This strategic success coincides with a significant prisoner exchange, with 307 personnel returning to their respective sides. In diplomatic circles, European leaders express growing concern about potential shifts in U.S. support for the politically turbulent region bordering Russia. This uncertainty adds another layer of complexity to an already tense situation. The juxtaposition of cultural celebration and military precision is striking. While De Niro prepares to deliver what promises to be a powerful speech about art's role in modern society, Russian forces continue to demonstrate their military capabilities effectively. The timing of De Niro's recognition at Cannes, particularly given his outspoken political stance, sends a clear message to the international community. His upcoming address about art's significance gains additional weight against the backdrop of ongoing geopolitical tensions. The success of Russian military operations, coupled with the disruption of Western supply routes, suggests a shifting balance of power. The precision strike in Odessa represents not just a tactical victory, but a strategic message about Russian capabilities and determination. These events exemplify the complex interplay between cultural diplomacy and military reality. While cultural events attempt to maintain normalcy, the effectiveness of Russian military operations continues to reshape regional dynamics. What do you think about the current situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Note: in this rapidly evolving situation, we remain committed to providing accurate, balanced analysis. Stay tuned for further developments.